Hey, Rich, Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you today? I'll tell you, it's Monday already. Can you believe that stuff? Crazy week last week. All the nonsense in the news and all that. I'm finding it really difficult to believe all the nonsense going on in the state of Oregon. Governor and the mayor wanting to order the federal troops out of Portland. Yeah, that's a law and order group there, aren't they? Would rather have Antifa and the mayor showing up. Crazy. Absolute craziness. What is wrong with people today? I think I do know, though. I've really been looking at this, and I have the feeling that a lot of this that's going on right now today has to do with the election, for one. But I started thinking they're really going over the top with this. Really going over the top. And why? And I think I understand. Bring you in a little closer so I can whisper it to you. What we've got going on out there is, one, I'm not believing the polls. I really am not. They're too slighted. I cannot believe that many Democrats can look at Joe Biden and go, yep, this is the man we want as president of the United States. And if they take 2 seconds and look at his Senate record, and even the stupid stuff he said, he made Barack Obama's eyes roll on numerous occasions from some of his comments. I can't believe that people that are Democrats would be that foolish as to say that this guy's good for the country. But anymore, the Democrat Party is not interested in whether or not it's good for the country. It is all about power. They're after power, and they're spending a fortune to do it. So if you guys can afford to support some of these Senates and House seats and so forth, you might want to get involved. They're putting the money out and lying, well, even last election when they took the House back, a lot of that was you had a lot of very progressive liberal Democrats out trying to sell themselves as moderates. Oh yeah, we can work with the Republicans. Yeah, you did. Until you took your oath, and then suddenly it was like, yeah, here we go. We made Nancy Pelosi look like a moderate. None of that flies. Okay, and everybody's talking about New York City and what a shame that is. I don't feel sorry for New York City. I'm sorry. If the people of that town didn't stand up and go into those city council meetings and just blow up when they were talking about defunding their police departments and cutting back their staffs and things of this nature, if they didn't go complain, do not start complaining now, okay? If you sat on your hands because I'm a Democrat and these guys are Democrats and, that would be, bad PR. Enjoy your streets. Enjoy the shootings. Enjoy the murders. Enjoy. You have asked for it. And make sure, I'd like to see the governor now turn around and with his no bail deal, just go ahead and extend that up for murder too. Where you can, okay, we're going to arrest you for murder. You got trial date in 6 months, and you're free to go now. Nobody's listening to the police. Nobody has any respect for the police. I got to tell you, and I guess it's from too many years living in rural settings, I have the utmost respect for police. I really do. There's bad apples. You're going to have it in any career field. You're going to have bad apples. I mean, Democrats, come on, you got Nancy Pelosi as the House leader. That one was nuts. And then you got that other crazy one off the West Coast that's, wants people to go harass people at dinner and so forth, just because they're of a party that she doesn't agree with. And all this stuff of, Donald Trump's a racist and he's a misogynist and he's this and he's that and he's the other. Okay, here's number one. Donald Trump, if they would go back and look at even documentaries done by like CNN, back when he was helping turn New York City around, and the amount of minority workers that he hires and things of this nature, and the man where he became this huge racist is because he said there's a lot of criminals and bad apples flowing across our southern border and it needs to stop. The man was speaking the truth. Wasn't that he was racist. That's what's happening. That is reality. So what, you hate him because he told you the truth? And yeah, he bloviates. Well, he's a New Yorker, for heaven's sakes. Most of them do. You gotta look at the Cuomo brothers. Come on now. Yeah, tell me every word that falls out of those two children's mouths amounts to truth and justice in the American way. Yeah, that clown that works at CNN, he wouldn't know what the truth was if it jumped up and bit him in the butt. And his brother's about the same. So save it. Okay? Save it. So yeah, politicians, man, if you... And I'm going to do up a video where we talked about Donald Trump when he first got elected. Telling people don't put all your eggs in that basket because he's just, number one, a man, and number two, most politicians never back up what they had to, what promises they made. Let's see if he does. And he's done a pretty good job of living up to his word of what he promised the people that supported him he would get into office and try to get accomplished for him. And people wonder why his supporters are such a hard lock base. One of the few politicians that's ever said, I'm going to try to do these things, and actually went out and tried to do these things. Barack Obama can't make that claim. Oh, I mean, yeah, he run around telling everybody hope and change, but never defined what hope and change was. Turned out the change was, let me get this country so divided racially that people can't get along and can't form up together and say, hey, listen, we have some common ground here and we're sick of this. The blacks were hoping that maybe it was a chance for them to, get their needs addressed. Well, if your need was a new cell phone, you got it addressed. Past that, don't bother the man. I have heard more blacks say the same thing. He has done less for us than the average bear. The man just didn't care. So, did he lie to you? Yeah, he did. That simple. He lied. Was there some things that Barack Obama did that I liked? Yeah, a few. Was Obamacare one of them? No, it's not. This country existed a long, long time without even health insurance. I can tell you a quick story here, and I don't want this to get long. I had to get an MRI before I got a surgery. So, found out through my insurance company that my portion and so forth of paying for this MRI was going to be a pretty good chunk of change, like $900. So I started calling around and talking to these radiologist outfits about what it would cost to get an MRI done. And they're giving me these prices. And I always finish the conversation with, well, can you get a discount for cash? Now, mind you, most of the prices I was getting was $2,000 to $3,500 was the ballpark. They'd usually say, let us call you back. My best offer came from $2,800 down to $700 cash. Our medical system has been absolutely hosed up by the federal government's meddling in it. We have lost hospital beds. Hospitals have closed. All the nonsense about this COVID-19, they're trying to stop the curve. Stop the curve. That's because there wasn't enough hospital beds, folks. Because the federal government meddling in healthcare closed up a lot of our hospitals. Over half. In just a couple of decades. And with Obamacare, it's even accelerated. So are we set up to deal with a pandemic? If we would have actually got the 2.5 million cases that they were talking about, we'd be up a creek without a paddle. We'd have people sitting out in the parking lots. Whose fault is it? Government's. Government doesn't need to be in healthcare. Look at the VA, for God's sakes. That's government in healthcare for the longest period of time, and what a mess that is. Donald Trump has improved that, by the way. One of the few presidents that did. Barack Obama sat around saying, oh, thank you for your service. And I'm sorry your husband died because he was waiting to get in to see a doctor at the VA. That's why a lot of us veterans look at people when they say thank you for your service, and you just kind of give them a look like, yeah, okay. It's lip service. It's a lot like what the politicians give. If you really give a hoot. And I'm going to stick a link to a video. I want you to see. It's a music video, so you got a little music. Good. talks about the plight of veterans today. Might want to listen to it through its entirety. You will learn a lot about thank you for your service. You'll find out that it is primarily lip service. And you'll be ashamed at what your nation and what people have done to your returning veterans. And I won't even go back to the Vietnam vets. That was disgraceful. Totally disgraceful. And by the way, that's the very people in leadership today that pulled that kind of crap. So you wonder why this country's in a mess? Folks, it's boiling down to this. You're looking at freedom or communism. And when I say freedom, it's going to mean once this other garbage is put to rest, it's going to mean having some serious sit-downs with our federal government and saying, you went too far and it's time to back this up. Don't make us come for you. That's their chief concern. They are really viewing this country as getting broke up into pieces. We need to unite as a country. Democrats and Republicans. And I know there's a lot of you Democrats who are looking for a home right now. You don't have to sign up as a Republican. Sign up as an independent. Keeps you out of primary elections, if nothing else. You don't feel guilty about voting for them because they don't have an independent primary. And you got to be a Democrat or Republican to vote in the other ones. And Democrats, why bother voting in Democrat primaries? They don't listen anyway. They're going to put into that chair whoever they want to put in. And Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders was a classic example of that, right? And Bernie Sanders didn't fare too well in this one either, did he? Huh? Not to say that Bernie Sanders would make a good president. He is about as butt crazy as they get. You know, he'd had the printing presses going like crazy, clean up to the point of this nation being totally bankrupt, like it isn't already. The guy that will excite me is the guy that says, I'm going to start burning money now. So that's what Ronald Reagan had to do to get our other economy back in the 70s and 80s back under control. You know, the economy that Bill Clinton got to ride in on, saying what a great job he was doing with the economy, and the Bushes, yeah. Of course, Junior really screwed things up. We need to straighten our country up, folks. We need to stop this bloodshed in the cities, and it should not be tolerated. We need to quit spitting on our cops, because as New York's beginning to see, they are the only thing that stands between you and chaos. And most Americans are not ready to deal with chaos. Because then it's not going to be, what? Could I get into a fender bender on the way to work today? Yeah, I'm nervous about that. It's going to be, is somebody going to shoot through my window and kill me on the way to work today? Talk to some ex-Bosnians and so forth. They can tell you what it's like living in that kind of terror. You don't have a clue as an American. And these kids in the streets need to understand something. Right now, the shooting hasn't really started yet. It's all been one-sided. If you keep this up, sooner or later, you're liable to strike a match that's going to start sending stuff downrange to you. And you're not going to like it. Because it's going to become a winner-take-all situation. And mommy and daddy's not going to help you. And your professors are going to be nowhere to be found. Okay? They're going to be looking to move to the Bahamas or to Costa Rica or anywhere they can get to, because they know what's coming next. They know real history. They just didn't share it with you. And they know what happens in situations like this. And it's not good for people like them. So they'll be running. Canada will get a whole pile of new residents. Canadians had half a sense, said, line their military up on the border and go, no. Not here. We done seen what you did down south. No. Of course, you got Trudeau up there. He'd fit right in with this group. Anyway, I don't want to get this going too long. I'm going to put that link to that video down there. I advise every person that sees this video to look and listen to that. It's a good song. Good music. But the message that they put out in that video makes you think. Then you'll understand. The next time you look at somebody in their eye and say thank you for your service, understand what you're really talking about. You don't know the plight of the veteran in America today. So don't be surprised that they don't have a lot of sympathy when they have to clean up your mess. We're headed for a bad time here, folks. Trying to get cooler heads to prevail. But when you have government officials, these communists that we've elected under the Democratic Party, and that's exactly what they are wanting to destroy this nation. And I'm telling you now, as an American who knows a lot of other Americans who are all saying the same thing, once it starts, we're going to end it. There'll be no more of it when it's all over. Love you guys and I appreciate you. Hopefully some cooler heads start prevailing. But this is just getting to the point of insanity. Y'all have a great week. Hope your gardens are growing well and life is good and your kids are good and safe. Keep them that way. Like I said, love you guys, appreciate you. You have a great day.